What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Orbis Overdrive. It's your guy, Gimmick. How are we all doing today? I know there's so much to talk about. There's been a lot that's been announced in the past 24 hours. It's been such an excitement, I have to say. But yeah, how is everyone doing today here on YouTube and Twitch? For those who don't know, Orbis Overdrive is our bi-weekly YouTube and Twitch stream where we get to talk about the newest, latest, and greatest updates with me and a special guest. But yeah, how are you guys doing today? You guys doing well? You guys excited for an exciting patch of stream of updates that's coming out soon? It's crazy. There's a lot to go into. So I guess for right now, why don't we go into the imprint and talk about some of the great stuff that has been implemented. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are starting it off right now with the newly released hero, Immortal Wukong. And I know they were announced last week and they were put up on the banner as of today. They have an artifact as well with them. Very, very interesting character. I know some people are thinking, hey, is this character limited? Is this a different type of character? Character is actually in the general summoning pool. It is not limited. So if you do unfortunately miss your chance on Immortal Wukong, you can pull them off their drop rate banner. So just for you guys to know, how about your polls, guys? Have you guys been able to pull Immortal Wukong just yet? Personally, it took me 70, I think. I got lucky for that, fortunately. But hey, how about you guys? You guys got anything good? But I guess while waiting for feedback on that, why don't we move on to our next slide? I'm sure people are very excited for this one right here. None other than New Moon Luna. Man, Mage Luna, I've heard it left and right, shouted from the highs and lows. She's finally here. Well, you'll have to wait a little bit until July 4th, actually, in particular. But hey, she's here in spirit for right now. I mean, honestly, I looked at her kit, I looked at her preview. I am blown away by her animations, her designs. I know people are saying, yeah, their skill 3 looks crazy. Some people were talking about Wukong saying, had to pity. Some people are saying they got luckier, 20 pulls maybe. Hey, congrats to you on your 20. For those who got pity, welcome to the 121 club. I certainly know that feeling. I had to 121, I think 3 heroes in a row recently. Not the best feeling, but hey, you're just building up your luck for the next one. So hopefully you'll be able to get that. And hey, with New Moon Luna coming up, maybe you'll one-tap. Maybe you will one-tap. We don't talk about how I one-tapped MLSenya. You know, we're past that, right, at this point. But hey, for those who have are building up their resources now for New Moon Luna, right, you have until July 4th. Be sure to build up now, especially if you want to take this character for a ride. Yeah, I'm speechless. I'm so excited. The design looks great. But why don't we talk about the next bit of update that came out with this week? Yes, it is Days of Piercing Cold, the newest ML theater. I believe that is the 5th one now out of all the ML theaters. There's a lot that's going on there. This one to be featuring New Moon Luna amongst other characters such as Fallen Cecilia, Abyssal Euphine, and hey, you know, as time goes on, more heroes are introduced and announced. Who knows who might be a part of this? We'll have to see. But let's move on into our next slide here, which is the Arena renewal. Chat, I know Arena is currently down. Thank you so much for your patience as they are working on making sure the new system is up and running as soon as possible. There's a lot. I know there's a lot that's going on. Again, thank you for your patience. I know people like to burn their flags during this time. You can still get your daily Arena rewards for your reputation by playing Draft Arena or by playing World Arena. But yes, thank you again for your patience. That is still a work in progress. If you guys want to know when this is going to be announced or fully released, it is supposed to be set for the new season on the 24th, but you'll have to wait a little bit longer until Arena opens up again. Anyways, let's move on to the next slide. This is talking about the new season as well. As you can see, next season is starting on the 24th. Just be a little bit more patient. I do appreciate your patience. Be sure to check out the Stove page for any and all updates about the uptime for Arena, but we'll get back to you guys as soon as we can for that. And let's get into our last slide here as well. None other than the 2nd season of Rift being finally open for you guys. Nightmare of the Oceans, Abyssal Tyrant Kraken. And if you guys haven't seen the animations in this, this is kind of crazy. You're on a boat, you know, there's a big kraken it rocks the ship and then it sends it under a whirlpool. It's kind of some crazy animation. We will be going into that a little bit later today. As you can see, only Earth Elemental heroes are allowed. The boss is dark though. Please be sure to keep that in mind when adjusting your crit rates. It's not like Wyvern or any other general hunt where the team you bring in usually is at around 85 crit. It is at 100. It has to be at 100 if you want to guarantee some crits. I'm missing a little bit on mine, but we'll be still showcasing that during the Sanctuary segment. But as you guys know, we like to bring on a guest for every Orbis Overdrive. So why don't we bring in our guest for today, the one, the only FartPancakes. Hello, Fartsy. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you'd like to take a moment to introduce yourself, where do you stream, what kind of content you make for Epic 7, please feel free to do so now.
Hey, what's up, everybody? As Gimmick said, I'm FartPancakes. Some people know me as Fartsy. Either name is fine. I stream on Twitch, and I just started a YouTube channel recently, so you can check me out there as well. And also, hola a todos en la comunidad de español. So I like to talk in Spanish with some of the Spanish-speaking community as well. I'm still learning, so if you guys want to teach me, please feel free. Other than that, I used to stream like 3 times a week, but life happens, so that's why I put content on YouTube now whenever I can. So you'll find me on both platforms. I basically make content for everything from PvP to PvE. I do like account reviews, new player help, guild war help, builds, summons, testing, RTA, you name it, everything.
Awesome.
And guides on all that. So, yep.
Well, that's great. So, you said you started a YouTube channel recently. Is that still under the same username, FartPancakes, or is it?
Yep.
Awesome,
Everything is FartPancakes.
Awesome. And is it more like, VOD highlights? Is it more like content you're genuinely creating just for the platform? Are you just experimenting for right now?
It's kind of both. So I'm starting off with just like editing my VODs. In the future, I'll be making like just, straight up guides, make it clean on YouTube. So we'll get a little bit of both.
Awesome. Well, thank you for introducing yourself with that. How long have you been playing Epic 7 for?
I think it's going on 4 years now.
Awesome.
In July. So
wow.
It's been a fun run. And yeah, I'm actually surprised time flew by so quickly. It doesn't feel like I've been playing for that long.
So 4 years ago, that's right, around July. What kind of content was around that time? Do you remember, like with banners?
It was like when the Guilty Gear collab was happening, and then right after that, or it was either before or after, there was like the Seaside Bologna rerun banner. And that was like the second, I guess the first rerun. But yeah, everyone's like, oh my gosh, Seaside Bologna is broken. You have to pull for her. So that was the meta where she was great. And then RB first pick RTA was the thing. It's like, if you don't have RB, you pre-ban them. If you have them, you first pick them. Those were the good days.
It's kind of crazy to see how much the meta has changed over such little time in the grand scheme of things. But I mean, thinking about first pick RB, that's kind of crazy. But yeah, I remember those times where it was before my time, but I've heard a lot about SSB running around in that time. And yeah, it has changed quite a bit. And as we will see here, we have a lot as well to talk about. But speaking of heroes, who would you say is your favorite hero in Epic 7 and why?
My favorite is actually the one you had running for your timer screen.
Ooh.
Top Model Luluka. Yep.
Awesome.
She's been my favorite ever since she came out. I love her design. Pink is my favorite color, and she's always been my favorite hero. I'm glad she got a buff not too long ago, but she's still kind of like a little irrelevant. So
needs a little here and there, right? A little patch up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's definitely fair to say. I've been loving using her when it comes to draft mode. I know she's a fun pick for that. But yeah, maybe some new things coming through, and I know that we have a lot to talk about here, but why don't we start talking about with Wukong first? I know Wukong is the first thing on our list here, just released today. Have you had a chance to pull for them, and what do you think about them both aesthetics-wise and kit-wise?
Okay, so Immortal Wukong actually looks really, really cool, so I'm excited for him. I'm surprised he's not a limited unit, but that's a good thing. So, more accessibility anytime for anyone. And it looks like he was specifically designed to be the best in slot Rift unit. So interesting to see that they, Smilegate creates these units specifically for specific content coming out. But yeah, so his kit, his design, everything looks pretty solid. He looks really strong, but, not broken, in terms of like the OP meta units you see running around in RTA right now.
Certainly.
So I think he's a fair unit. He's not bad, but he's not like he's strong and not in the overly broken, can't deal with him type of
Right.
way. So I think that's always a good thing to have balance.
Certainly, certainly. Yeah, I know his kit mainly revolves around, him gaining stats when he takes a non-crit hit, and then it's also based upon he's got a big AOE on his skill 1 when it's his turn, and he has a pretty devastating skill 3 that stuns pretty heavily. And I know that a lot of people are saying, hey, this might be a good solution for, say, Janua, because the skill 3 ignores elemental advantage, so he can always hit, doesn't have to worry about the 50-50. But also just in general, just like a strong survivable hero that has a few holes that can still get punched through, which I think is very interesting.
Yeah. So I thought it was really interesting. They added that little clause at the end of his S3, like ignores element disadvantage. So I'm like, oh, they definitely put this in here to deal with Genua, because Genua is a really strong unit and he's just kind of running around wreaking havoc. And people are like, how do I deal with this guy? And like, the only thing people know to deal with him is just like, knock wool or just stun him and sleep him.
Yeah.
And that's basically all the counters right now.
Yeah, and it gets a little difficult, especially with characters like Dragon Bride Senya, right? Being put in the back line there, and then it's like, hey, if you try to touch him at all, you're not going to have a great time. And I certainly, hopefully over time, more solutions will be put through, but we'll have to see as it goes along. Chat, how do you guys feel about Immortal Wukong right now? You guys pulled them. I know I did see some people saying they were able to pull in 20, some people having to, unfortunately, pity. I definitely know that feeling way too well. How many bookmarks do you have saved up, Artsy?
I did so much secret shop refreshing to hit a full pity on ML Senya.
Wow.
Literally, I started at 200 and, ended at the entire pity. So it took me, how many mystics was that? Like, you need 10,000 to get the full
right,
pity.
that
Yeah,
is-
so I refreshed like 20k sky stones and 100 million gold. Got so much mystics and got like 3k covenant bookmarks.
Oh my goodness.
And I think I ran 1,000 of them just for fun on that triple banner with the Cerise, Luluka, and Lethe, trying to get more soul constellations. I didn't get it, but I mean, I got a lot of Cerises. So, now that I see that ML Luna is here, ML Landy exists, there's a chance for ML Cerise. So now I'm keeping these copies for the future.
I see.
So now I still have 2,000 covenant bookmarks. So I'm like, oh, this is easy, like 2 Wukongs right here. But who knows if we have like another summer limited unit coming up that I should save for. So it's always good to have some resources on hand.
For sure. I mean, that's about 5 pities, right? About 3,000 bookmarks. So I think you're pretty well set. And as we were saying earlier, right, Wukong himself is not a limited hero. So fortunately, if you do not decide to, go for that second copy, there might be a little lucky elemental bookmark summon maybe you can grab later down the line.
Yeah, that's also very true, which is a great thing about him not being limited.
Definitely. I know some people had, when there was a lot of the initial discussion about Naqual, I know people were saying, is she going to be limited? Turned out not being the case, and now that's how we are here as well with Immortal Wukong. Great to see that there's a lot of discussion about that. But I'm sure that people are also thinking about a certain other hero that they want to talk about, which is none other than New Moon Luna. Finally, Mage Luna is real. She's here, and her kit is really interesting. I think what a lot of people are looking at is the skill 3 being an AoE seal and unbuffable, and giving her a special skill nullifier, skill effect nullifier that changes how it interacts. So now it actually nullifies the effects of skills and artifacts for that instance. And I think it's really, really interesting. How have you thought, or how have you been looking at Mage Luna? Have you seen her kit broken down? What do you think about her design, aesthetic, stuff like that? Feel free to let me know.
From an aesthetic design standpoint, I think she looks great. She definitely looks a little bit different than when she was first I guess, conceived in the side story with Irvelin and
Right,
Vivian
as Mage
Cleric.
Luna,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So it's interesting to see that we start off with these units as NPCs, and then later they release as actual units, and they kind of get a design upgrade because we've seen that for like a mid, for example. She
Definitely.
definitely looked different from an NPC versus an actual unit. So it's nice to see that these units actually, become playable characters. So maybe there's hope for all the Brynus lovers out
All
there.
the Venus lovers for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of people asking for that. But as far as like a kit perspective for Emma Luna, I think she's really strong. Not broken, which is another thing, because it sounds like on paper, it sounds like, whoa, AoE strip unbuffable and seal non-contact. That's
Yeah.
crazy. And we see a lot of that issue running around for like Naquil and ML Mercedes. And seal is a pretty big deal because not a lot of units in the game have that right now.
Right.
So you're probably thinking like, oh, she's gonna be a broken opener because non-contact. But then you kind of forget the fact that there are some units that aren't affected by it because not every unit has a passive to be sealed. On top of that, she doesn't have skill cooldowns like Lua, Naquil, and Emma Rowana have. So you could easily just run a cleanser. So as long as there's a cleanser on the team, she's not really that much of a threat. You could just cleanse it off with Emma Acades, or the light one, I should say, light Acades, and then DJB, and then even Green Luluka. And then you can run things like Eternus or Soul Constellation just because there's debuffs and it's a non-attack skill. So there's definitely a lot of counterplay available.
Right.
On top of, how strong that S3 she has is. And of course, because of that effect nullifier, we don't care about Payras. So Payra is no longer a problem. You don't get affected by her debuffs, and then you just strip off her escort and the attack buff that she just gave to the whole team. So that's more counterplay against Payra. And then the CR boost she gets is good for the turn cycling, and then defense break is always huge. So it's great for playing aggro, and I can't think of a really good cleave comp that she'd be great in, but just from an aggro standpoint, the fact that she has defense break and AoE strips is really good.
Definitely, yeah. I think that's what a lot of people are saying. Some people are saying that, Luna not resetting cooldowns is going to be pretty easily dealt with. I mean, you have Laya, of course, one of the biggest contenders for one of the best cleaners right now. You were talking about Infinite Horizon Cadiz, great choice as well, being able to throw all those debuffs into crazy buffs. I love that mechanic so much. And even characters who haven't really been seeing that much in the meta right now, Hand Guy is another great choice as well, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things in the air that will be able to help pull away those debuffs, but even then, right? Even if you cleanse off all those or unbuffables, all those seals, and you're off a cleanser, right? Maybe you can then punish with a different character, like say Naquil as a follow-up. Now, obviously, that does make your team a little bit more flimsy, but I think it's really cool to see that. Yeah, there's a lot of discussion about how this character, even though on paper blows away a lot of passives, which is I think someone was saying that there's a lot of prominent characters who have passives right now. There's still counterplay. There's still direction that can be taken to help make sure that you're not just run over by this one character. And the def break on S2 with the pop as well, if it hits the character, pretty interesting as well. She is a health scaling mage as well. I can't think of any right now off the top of my head who are also health scaling mages.
Yeah, I think she's the first one, which is really interesting. So she can be built utility and still do damage because of the bulk you can put on her.
Yeah. So she might not even be an opener. You might be able to because of the threat. It reminds me of like the speed war between Angel of Light Angelica and Mediator Cleric back in the day, where it used to be like all the mediators would be built slower and slower to help, just clean off as many debuffs from the AOLs when AOL went first. But then they started switching around. I feel like that might even happen here, except now slowing down also doesn't just give like any or more survivability, but also a little bit more damage as well. Someone's saying Xeno. Oh, Xeno's actually, yeah, I believe Xeno might actually be an HP scaling mage. Definitely still unique, though, in its own kind.
I've actually never got myself a Xeno yet. He's still like grayed out in my gallery.
I mean, when you have so many
Unfortunate.
exclusive equipments you wanna roll for, I can't say I blame you. But hey, great segue, chat member, as we talk about something that is part of Xeno and part of other things like that. Hall of Trials. As you guys know, there was a big Metadines mail that was put out yesterday with the excuse me, the lunar eclipse video. Quite a lot to talk about, but the first thing that they talked about was the Hall of Trials challenge mode. So if you guys don't know about that one, that is going to be having harder bosses, but when the boss is incapacitated, you're able to deal more damage. There's not a lot of details right now. All we can do is really just wait and see when more information will be released. But the one big thing that they did talk about in that video was that there's a new currency that will be able to unlock exclusive equipments for Moonlight 5-star heroes. First of its kind. What do you think, Farsi? Just on that, just on that premonition alone, how do you feel about this addition?
So overall, I think that whole edition is really great for the game. So first of all, content-wise, I think it's great to have more PvE content in the game for people to actually work on and farm and grind. We need more of that because we're not getting enough like abyss floors, for example. And there's only so much that you can implement in the game that makes people want to be actively engaged. I think Hall of Trials is a good start because people only touch that like once every other week.
Right.
So the fact that they're adding in more content for people to have more engagement in it is good. And then the EEs thing, at first I thought, oh, adding EEs on a ML5 sounds kind of broken. That doesn't sound ethical. But, I was actually kind of looking forward to having the potential awakening, but that got scrapped. So now we have EEs. So I think this is a great way to bring more viability to a lot of the ML5s we've forgotten, because for a while nobody cared about ML Haste, and now he got a buff that's just like, whoa, hold your horses. Why is he like the top unit in the game now? So now people that didn't have him are like kicking themselves because they're like, oh, I didn't have this unit who I thought was dumb, and now he's really strong into like every playstyle.
Right.
And then we still have other ML5s that are kind of like forgotten, or they're just okay. So if we gave them an EE, maybe they would be viable again without having to give them a buff that would make them overtuned. So,
Right.
for example, FCC, everyone's seeing FCC in this latest trailer, and they're
Fallen
like,
Cecilia,
wait, the audacity to bring in Fallen Cecilia without a buff, and so maybe the EE will bring in more excitement for FCC again. And then RB, I want to see more love and attention for the number one husbando in the game, RB, because back then when I told you about the whole first pick thing, ML Haste stonks were high because RB stonks were high.
Right, because he was designed to counter that, right? Because he was on revival, right?
Yep, exactly. So once RB was falling off, so did ML Haste. So I was like, hey, just give RB a buff, and then ML Haste will automatically be good again. But instead, they just were like, hey, we're going to buff ML Haste, and now he's super strong. And then it's just like, wait, what about RB? He's still sitting in the dust.
Yeah, no, I certainly see that perspective. Yeah, there's definitely ways to, especially characters who just need that little extra nudge. Some people were talking about maybe a Closer Charles one, which is pretty interesting to me because I think that Closer Charles is still pretty used in like Cleave. But from Sue saying that FCC and Sylvan Sage Vivian are decent candidates. RB, I think, if you were to design like an EE, right, for RB, how would you build that, right? Because I know there's two lines of thought for RB, right? It's either the tank down or the tanky counter based one, or like the just all damage speed style. What would you do in order to buff RB in that case?
I personally don't like the degen builds on anything because I like the cleave aggro playstyle.
Right.
So I'm all about the speed and damage and the nukes. So if we could get some kind of EE that would give RB more damage or nukes, or I don't know, maybe if he revives, he gets a skill nullifier. That
Ooh.
would be kind of nice. I
Interesting.
think that would be a nice little buff without being too broken. Or even some kind of damage penetration, kind of like how Green Bildred has a EE. It's just
Right.
giving him more damage, but he's strong, but he's not broken.
It's true.
So you could put something like those onto RB, so he gets that little extra nudge without being like ridiculously broken.
Right. Now, assuming that the EE system for these ML5s are going to be built in the same way that normal EEs that we see in the current game are, what stat would you put on it? Would you prefer attacks percent, or would you prefer something more like crit chance in that case?
I think crit chance or speed are like the best value, but if they don't want to go that route, you can never go wrong with just giving him extra attack.
True.
So any of those, I think, would be ideal for RB.
Certainly. Yeah. Chat, what do you guys think? Let's hear those great minds. I'm seeing some people saying, how would they would implement EEs for certain heroes. Like, I don't know how you could add on these bonuses, especially for like reworking passives or anything like that. But chat, if you guys have any heroes in particular that you think might want to get an EE, again, ML5 for the system currently, who would it be? I want to hear some good takes. Some people are saying Rylet so that their evasion actually works on left side. Fair enough. I still use my Rylet quite a bit, but I do tend to keep him more towards like my Automaton Tower, because I've had it where I'm like playing a match in Automaton Tower and I'm just like looking at my frontline RB get like hit 3 times in a row and I'm like, what happened there?
See, he needs a buff. He needs EEs.
But potentially, yeah. Somebody's saying, yeah, Rylet definitely. Built-in evasion into the kit. Interesting.
I think Closer Charles definitely needs an EE because they were, he was on the potential list for potential awakening.
That's right.
So I was like, wow, Closer Charles is going to be good again. But then, Truck couldn't happen. So I think EE would kind of give Closer Charles the boost he needs, like a speed EE, because his base speed isn't really great. But,
despite him kind of playing like an opener, right?
Yeah, he's really great as an opener. So I think speed EE, especially on cleave type of units, are good.
It's totally fair. Yeah, a lot of people are saying, yeah, Closer Charles, speed EE, no other changes make him viable. Fair enough, yeah. Maybe something to boost his, his evasion by 20% as well. They can make him one of those 70% evasion heroes.
He definitely needs more evasion because I think 9 out of 10 times I use him, even with his evasion artifact, he always gets hit. No matter what. I'm like, bro, why are you not dodging?
Well, obviously,
so evasion is, I think evasion is a fake buff. It doesn't do its job.
Yeah.
It's just there to
Somebody's
look
saying
pretty.
as well, MLK-Ron, Twisted Eidolon, yeah.
MLK-Ron would definitely be a good candidate because, like, on paper, again, his kit is like, okay, decent, but then in reality, people just run him over anyway, and it's really hard to build, a bruisery thief because thieves have low base stats for bulk.
Yep.
So getting that on K-Ron is really difficult.
Imagine people are saying, yeah, no, I think it'd be a great idea if MLK-Ron had a flat defense CE.
Yeah, that would be weird, but
It'd be weird, but I mean, it kind of closes the
technically
gap,
speaking,
right?
yeah, that's true. So
Be funny,
it's
yeah.
like trying to find a balance between getting him enough bulk and then getting enough damage so that he's not doing peanut damage. So that's kind of the difficulty in finding the right balance to make him viable and usable.
I agree.
And then Tomoka getting an EE, I think, would be great as well because, yeah, she got a buff, but she's still irrelevant. And there's so many stronger units out there. So I think EE would definitely put her in a better spot.
Definitely. I think that's totally fair to say. All right, let's. I know there's a lot of talk about the E stuff. I know it's like one of the biggest excitements. Let's quickly pull into one of the next things that we talked about on the Metaneeds Mail, which was the second season of Rift. So we will be going a little bit more into detail about it during the stream. I do have a team set up. We'll be running through that a little bit. But, early thoughts about how Rift season is now, because there were quite a few changes that were made, not just to the boss and mechanics and the heroes that you have to bring in, but also the rewards are changed a little bit. Now a lot of them are actually reforged selection chests. and also lowering the cost of re-entry. How are we feeling about that?
Overall, I think these are good changes because the first season didn't go so well because there was like kind of a barrier of entry stuff, stopping newer players from being able to participate because it was really difficult just to get one run in for a lot of people.
Right.
And that's, I think, what deterred a lot of people from participating in it. So now that they've run the second season with a lot of changes and adjustments to not only be more energy cost efficient,
Right.
but making it easier to actually complete, I think will be good for a lot of people to actually consider farming that on like hunt buff days, for example.
Right.
So I think it's good that they lowered the cost for energy so people don't feel like, oh, this is a energy sink, and then the fact that it's more doable for everybody at all stages of the game, I think is also good for more participation overall.
Definitely, definitely. And it is a little bit more oriented towards late game content, obviously, for late game players. But I think that there's been a few changes that have been really trying to make sure that it is more accessible. There are easier ways to get into it. I know, chat, you might have some feedback on this as well. Feel free to say it now, but also you're free to save it when we are playing it live. You might be able to even example some of your criticism and feedback during that time. But yeah, I think it's great. It's great to see a new season of Rift. I was able to RC 30, I think it was, or finished out the RC for season 1. It was a lot, and I did have to put together Kane for that, and I am putting together Wukong for this one as well. I know what you said earlier during Wukong's our little discussion with Wukong, saying that they're just designing the character around the Rift season. And I think that, at least in my personal opinion, I feel like it's kind of the other way around, right? They have an idea for a character that works well, and they see, okay, what are some of the affordances that this character's kit has, and how can we formulate that around being able to give this Rift season a little bit more of an easier time with the specific character. But that's just me. I mean, chat, if you feel like you see differently, feel free to let me know. But that's kind of how I see it personally. But it is only day 1. In fact, it's been less than like 24 hours since the Rift season release, so it takes a little time for people to cook. There's a lot of people who are PvE heads who love to experiment on this stuff. We'll have to see as time goes on. Obviously, with the RC difficulty, maybe the heroes change as well. But yeah, there's a lot going on here for sure.
Well, I think it's good that I don't know in what order they decided to design Wukong and the Rift, or what took precedence, but
Right.
at least for Wukong's design perspective, I think it's good that he's like one of the best in slot units for this type of content while still being PvE viable or PvP viable.
Right.
Because, what they did in the first season with Kane, that was a disaster. I wish we could see more Kane in PvP, but he's just like really not great because of the way his kit works. But in PvE content like that Rift season 1, that he was the best in slot there. But
Right.
now we have Wukong viable in all content of the game, which I think is good from a character design perspective as well.
Right. I will say though, as you might know, I have a YouTube series on the official YouTube channel where I showcase World Arena replays, and there was actually a great Kane player who ran it on Revenge set. It was pretty crazy to see with Ace Fist. But I do agree with you in terms of like being able to make sure these characters can be balanced across multiple PvP modes, PvE modes. But we'll have to see as time goes on, obviously. Maybe Kane might be, changed in the future. We'll have to see. But I totally understand where that perspective comes from in terms of like, yeah, Kane was kind of like using him in PvP was a little bit more difficult than Wukong is at the current moment. So totally understand that. Okay, why don't we get into the next bit here, which is the changes to the arena system. So, as you might have seen in the Metadeans video, there is a new revamped arena featuring a few extra things that's coming in with the new season. Rather than having the 5 fights that you can choose from and then you can refresh as needed, instead it is now giving you certain heroes that have certain grades that will then give you different point amounts based upon your completion. And not only that, there is also a few other additions, such as the addition of the Emperor tier, which used to be RT exclusive, is now part of Flagged Arena, and on top of that as well, the quick battle system. One other thing as well, as per the stove page, you might have noticed there's also a little bit thing about the NPC fights. If you want to know about the details about that, be sure to check the Stove page. But given kind of the most surface level understanding and how this new arena will work, how do you feel about it?
I think it's also a great addition in terms of like content update because for the longest time I was like, how come we only have Emperor rank in RTA but we don't have it in Arena? So it's a good thing that they're putting it in Arena just so we can keep the ranks consistent across all the PvP things in the game. So that's good, and it's more reason to climb and farm up some more free sky stones. That's what I like.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone likes free, right? So if you are, dying for some sky stones to pull for your immortal Wukong, go start climbing that arena when the update finishes
sure.
up.
Yeah.
Other than that, the fact that there's no longer going to be that weekly rank reset, I think is good for a lot of people that are kind of lazy and like to just camp at a specific rank, because I know a lot of people just climb to champion and they just want to camp out there and they don't use their flags at all.
Certainly.
And then if they ever fall, they just use just enough to climb and camp so that the weekly reset will give them their rewards, because climbing any higher, there's no way you're going to sit there in the last hour of reset time just to maintain legend to get an extra 100 sky stones or something. It's going to cost you more to just maintain that. But the fact that they're adding Emperor rank, maybe that's a more reason for people to not camp in champion anymore and just climb a little bit higher and then be rewarded more for the weekly payouts. Yeah. I'm assuming they'll still have that and give better reward, of course. But yeah, it's good.
Definitely. Yeah. Silver linings with the fact that Arena is down right now. Hey, you can save some flags a little bit, maybe. If it does go a little bit longer, you might be able to save some flags so that when Emperor, launches, you can make that big climb with as many flags as you can. Hey, just a thought. I usually try to sit around, I try to climb as high as I can when I am available to. Always do my 5 flags per day at least, even if I have to use NPC Arena. But I'm excited to see how this works. Obviously, the new season has new equipment as well. Be interesting to see how that will play in. Maybe I'll be able to roll some this season. I do have a lot of crests, so maybe I'll be able to. But we'll have to see how that turns out. But yeah, I'm really excited to see how this new Arena season turns out. I know some people are talking about, especially with last week's guest, there are other game modes that people want to see revamped. Is there anything in particular that you would want to see maybe touched up, revamped, given a little bit of extra oomph? Feel free to let me know.
Let's see. I don't know about anything that needs to be revamped at the top of my head, but we definitely need more updates to Abyss. Because when was the last time we got an Abyss update? At least if we're not getting the main, like 120 floors, what about like the challenge stages? Because we only have like 10. So maybe, at least like once a year or biannually or something, we add some new updates to that, I think would be great. But overall, if Smilegate decides to add more content to the game in general, I think people would like that. Kind of like how when we had the Midnight Gala side story event with the, I guess, TFT
mode,
type
right?
of
mode.
That brawl mode, I think a lot of people were really excited about that, and more people just like came back to the game and were really hyped about that. So if we could get more content like that, even if it's just like rotating content, so you have like your 3 weeks of something being open and then it's closed, and then like after 2 weeks of being closed, a new content mode rotates in for 3 weeks and so on. So it would like keep the game fresh and keep people constantly engaged, and then giving worthy rewards so people will want to do it, I think will be good for participation and engagement as well.
Yeah. Chat, any big fan of Brawl mode here? Because I personally am. I really loved playing that, especially during that time. As well, there's a lot of people talking about Guild War, definitely. Some people have some ideas, maybe to provide more armbands, changes about how towers are approached. Somebody even had an idea for maybe towers that only use 4-star heroes. There's a lot of things you can definitely implement into that.
I think that would be a good thing, too, if we can revamp Guild Wars to at least give more rewards, so people will be more inclined to do them and not skip out on them or forget about them. And then if we added in like that suggestion where there's towers that will use specific criteria, whereas it's like, specific element or 4-star, 3-star, that way we can make more use of our irrelevant units right now, because it
Right.
seems like with the state of the game right now, we don't really pay much attention to our 4-stars other than the speed imprints that cleavers use or the 3-stars that are specialty change. If they're
Fair.
not in that criteria, nobody cares about using any of the other units.
That's an interesting way to put it. Trying to think if there are any other pretty relevant 4-stars. I mean, obviously AOL is still pretty prominent.
Well, as far as like RGB 4-star units go,
RGB
like
4-stars, fair
yeah,
enough.
MLs are strong for sure. But as far as RGB ones go, like who's using Green Silk?
Right.
Who's using Fire Kawazu? So no one cares about these units, and I think it would be great to have them viable in other places than just like Wyvern Hunt or something like that.
I think it's totally fair. So we're also talking about specialty change. I know that a lot of people have been putting their hopes and dreams for that. Definitely going to put that down here. Let me write this all down. Specialty change, and then also 4-star RGB implementation.
And we need more 4-star RGB units too, because we
Right.
don't get very many of those. The latest one we had was Veronica.
Right.
And then
Ooh,
before that, it was like years and years ago, it was Kawazu and Kawana, I think it was. Other than that, the only new 4-stars they release are the Moonlights.
Right.
So I think it would be good to pay more attention to adding more RGB 4-stars, because it seems like we're only getting 5-stars and 3-stars, and nobody really cares about the 3-star units unless they're specialty change or,
Right.
F2P versions of some kind of mechanic for PvE content.
Okay. Well, thank you for your feedback. Yeah, some people were saying, yeah, Furious was actually the last aside from Veronica. Interesting.
Oh yeah. So we don't have many to,
To count down on.
use.
Totally
Yeah,
understand.
and then eventually all the RGB 4-stars are gonna have Moonlight versions, and now they have two different, we have a light and a dark one because there's no other RGB 4-stars to make ones off of. So they're
Right.
like, oh, okay, well this unit already has a dark, let's give them a light version, and vice versa.
Certainly. Yeah. Again, totally warranted, totally valid opinion, right? Like, I think that there's a lot that we can discuss about how heroes are implemented or heroes are added. And yeah, to point that out, I think is a totally fair opinion. But as we have actually quite a lot still to go through here, the last couple of things here, E7WC 2024, you might have seen the preview to the OST. You might have seen also the trailer that we're using for Intro Stinger, which is going to be New Moon Luna versus Fallen Cecilia, with the Days of the Piercing Cold Moonlight Theater, and also a little bit more with Luna, which I'll go into actually right afterwards. Are you participating in preliminaries right now, by any chance?
I did a little bit, but I'm so busy IRL that I didn't have time to grind. So at this point, I'm like, well, I'm already gonna be in WC anyway. I won't say what it is exactly, but I don't think I can participate from a competition standpoint anyway. So I'll just save that for another day when life is not kicking me in the butt.
Life is always busy. But yeah, what do you think about like the previews, the trailers, all that stuff? I thought, like, when I first saw it, I was blown away just by how much animation went into that.
Yeah, I think it's nice when they can put out this type of promotion content that's like really hype. So now I'm excited for WC, because that little trailer they had, you could tell how hype it was and the amount of effort put into making it like look really good, be aesthetically pleasing, and you're just like, yo, I'm so hyped for FCC ML Luna. And then on top of that, we have the Moonlight Theater story to go along with it.
Yep.
So you're like, oh my gosh, there's a new story, what's the lore? I'm excited to see what's going on. And then we hear another name pop up in that little trailer, so we're like, oh, another new unit? Is this gonna be a dragon husbando? Like, there's a lot of mystery surrounding the little preview trailer that we had, so I'm excited to see how everything pans out from that.
Yeah, I'm super excited for this year. I mean, it looks like there's a lot of stuff going into. Also, the singer as well. A lot of people were talking about earlier. It's very excited to see their performance and just everything else. And on top of the fact that Mage Luna is going to be part of this event, there's going to be a login event. If you guys didn't see, there's a login event which we will let you obtain Luna, again, Ice Luna, for free, and you'll also be able to obtain a free skin with her as well, looking a little bit more towards her original design. And if you haven't seen it yet, you can check it out on the official YouTube. So
I'm excited. Free skins is always nice. Yep. We love cosmetics, and I wish Smilegate would invest in bringing more cosmetics to the game too. Even if you have to pay for them. Like, did you see what they did with Hamster Violet, Guinea Pig Violet,
Yes.
whichever he is, whatever rodent? But either way, it was freaking cute, and I was like, worth every penny. Wallet Kun is ready. We need more of that, and I'm sure if we got more skins, cosmetics, lobby upgrades, whatever it is, people love the game, and they'll happily support that.
yeah. The other things that you would see as like a great way to add extra angles of support for Epic 7. I know that a lot of people are talking about more cosmetic things like the guinea pig Violet. Anything else that you might see as something that you would feel a little bit more, I guess, excited to see in game?
Overall, like, are we talking just exclusively like cosmetic standpoint?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I know people are talking about like profile frames, stickers, etc. Go wild, right?
I think skins are gonna be the best selling point for the game because the thing that hypes people up the most is seeing the character designs and seeing their cool S3 animations.
Definitely.
So I don't know how it works from like an animator standpoint, but doing like reskins, recolors, whatever it is, just adding skins in general brings a fresh look to the game, especially for people's favorite characters. So if we add in more skins, that's more revenue for Smilegate, and it doesn't break the game. No one's gonna complain like, whoa, this guy won because he has a skin or something like that.
Right.
It's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, this guy's Arby is pink. He looks so cool or something like that.
Arby with pink hair.
Yeah, exactly. So even if they're just like, for example, RTA rewards to get like chromas, for example, if we got like character chromas, you can change whatever color theme of your units. You just play RTA and you farm this currency to redeem for these skin chromas.
Right.
I think could be
Interesting.
one idea to get people more engaged in RTA, because there's people that don't want to touch it at all or will touch it just to get masters and get that skin. So
Right. Hey, I mean that's totally fair to say. Some people are even saying like different lobby styles, like not like the.
Yeah.
I think what they're saying is not actually like the Terev Island and the Bilious Garden one, but more like actually the tavern. Being able to have a different themed tavern might even be a way to approach it.
yeah, because we've been adding a lot of like profile card things and lobby reanimations and changes, and the fact that people can change and customize their lobbies and profile cards is great. So adding more like paid stickers or animations or whatnot, like
Right.
or even just making them buyable through Skystones. Either way, I think just adding cosmetics makes the game more fun for people.
Totally. All right. Well, we did it. We managed to get through the mountain of stuff that we were talking about today. I'm thinking right now, maybe I can pop into the Sanctuary. As you guys know, we like to have a little thing planned for everything. Why don't we start off with looking at the new Rift season? I'll pop in a little bit, start doing something, take a few turns, show how it works in action, talk about the heroes that are available, and then how about a little bit of draft mode, huh?
All right, sounds good.
All right, let's hop right
Let's
into
get
it
to
then. All right, here we are in my fantastic lobby. Let us get right into the battle segment and into the Rift. So the new Rift season obviously is here. I've been already working on it a little bit. I know that you said that you haven't pulled Wukong just yet, but here's my team right now. The thing about Abyssal Tyrant Kraken is that they have this big unbuffable and Venom on their first turn. They also have just some big hits here and there, which are a little hard to avoid. And then the biggest thing is that they deal injury, right? So it's a little hard to sustain longer fights sometimes, but if you have barriers or other forms of survival, you should be okay. The biggest mechanic here is mainly about the fact that they have, it reduces evasion and fighting spirit, so you can't bring certain heroes. And then these tentacles, when you target all allies with your attack, or all enemies with the attack, it actually strips it away, puts on Sever, and then you actually can deal more damage with it. So I'm just gonna show off who I've got available right now for my team. run a few turns, and then I'll probably just turn it to background battling if I can later on here. But I'm running Wukong in the front. This is a more PvP style build that I'm running with lifesteal just to keep him alive. A little flimsy, but he's been working pretty well for what I have. I have Bellona here. She doesn't have full crit rate. I apologize. Don't have all the gear available, but I wanted as much attack as I could. And then I have Vivian, kind of similar range where she's kind of going fast, putting out the buffs. Kaladra for the debuff scaling. And then finally, I Grace of Growth my Ray to put on just to have a little bit of survivability. Doctor's Bag for a little extra tankiness. And then also the synergy with all Earth heroes to decrease his cooldown. I think it's a pretty cool utility that he has. And I know that players who don't have Ray available, Bernard is actually a great alternative as well from what I've heard. Chat, how about you guys? Have you guys been doing Rift and stuff like that? Tristan saying, are you doing Rift before your video? I'm just trying some things out. Don't look away if you need to. But chat, how are you feeling about the current Rift season? I'll also show up before we actually pop in here. I'm going to show off the Rift controllers and the different stats. So you have one here for when under 40% health, you dispel all debuffs and get a barrier once per battle. Just kind of some safety. When the warrior in the front, you actually heal your whole team for some sustainability. When using AoEs, increase the damage. I like damage. I'm going to go damage. This one here is about thieves dealing more damage proportional to debuffs inflicted. Pretty interesting. Health of mage heroes, which is pretty interesting too, and also decreases skill cooldown of their skill 2. This sounds very much like a Vivian piece for sure, or I don't think there's any other mages right now that actually have a similar utility. And then front here, extending debuffs when using AoE. So if you can get one death break, might be great to extend that throughout the entire fight. It's a lot. Warrior here on the front deals damage proportionate to debuffs, another basically a rage set. Thief in back row dispels a tentacle and inflicts another sever, so just an extra sever instead of having to do AoE. When there's only one knight hero, decreases skill cooldown at the start of their turn for extra survivability. Grants immunity if there's no Soul Weaver, so if you're being risky. Ranger that attacks AoE extends debuffs as well. And then finally, increasing Rift counter force by 5, not 7 this time. I know that was a mouthful. I apologize, it was quite a bit. But, chat, how are you guys feeling about this season? I actually might just leave this here. Maybe leave some of the surprise of running Rift itself for a little later, because I definitely want to do some draft mode matches here with me and Fartsy. But chat, how are you guys feeling about it right now? I already had my Bellona and Vivian built for my old Banshee team. She was a great one-shotter. Vivian does great support there. Ray, I had to Grace, and I had to fully build Wukong today, but I'm honestly feeling like this has been pretty solid for me, and thankfully, I'm only on counter force 4. I'm able to deal about 30-40% depending on the death breaks, but yeah, I know it's a bit of a mouthful. I definitely want to see how it goes on going further, especially with the extra Rift controller pieces, and then I'm also running, just some basic 2-piece and 4-piece sets, just so I can make sure that I have things available. But yeah, bit of a mouthful. I think that we will put a pin on this, I think, for the next stream that I have, because especially as time goes on, more people will be able to experience the meta of Rift, and we can talk about it with our next guest. But, Fartsy, how about we do some draft mode, huh?
All right, sounds good. Let's get to it.
Awesome. Let's pop into here and do a little bit right now. Let me just pop into a mock lobby, create something. I'll just call it E7. No password, draft mode, simple as. So chat, as you might have known last week with our guest, we had a little bit of a fun, more, fun addition to our normal draft mode matches, which was being able to change how we play, right? So we had all of you guys in chat put down a number between 1 and 3, and then we would choose only that number down the row. But we could change it up a little bit, maybe has to always choose a husband or a waifu if it's available. Maybe changing how the type of hero is chosen. I know some people would like to do it with characters with long or short hair, certain hair colors, kind of get crazy. I want to hear what you guys have in mind in terms of what we should do. I mean, honestly, I'm down to do the 1 through 3 numbering again if you guys liked that last time. I had a lot of fun with it, but Let's hear it. Let's hear what you guys have in mind, chat. Fartsy, you have any ideas yourself, or?
I like the ideas that you threw out there, just like character-specific descriptions, or keep it simple and be like, we have to pick everything in the first slot, or chat says we have to pick everything in the third slot for second pick or whatever.
I'm seeing a lot of people in chat actually saying one's going straight to the middle or number 2. I think we should just go with that for now, right? Just middle only, no rerolls, no nothing. We'll just go with that.
Okay.
How about that?
Sure.
All right.
All right.
Let's do it. Best of luck.
May the best RNG win.
Yes, indeed. Oh, and you've got the Dragon King Sharoon profile picture too. All right, let's see what my picks are here. All right, we're starting off.
All right.
I think I'm taking your play style here. I think. Down the middle. Okay, never mind. I think I'm changing it a little bit.
My middle picks are a little sussy.
You know what? I'm kind of looking at my picks right now, and I'm like, there's a lot of light here. Seeing a lot of light here.
I don't like this.
Don't worry. We'll go for a best of 3 on this one. I think. Got Sully. I got the Bloodstone Landy actually. Interesting.
Oh no.
This is going to be a little interesting.
This is the strangest draft.
Who do I ban here?
Okay, well, I think I know what I'm going to be doing here.
All right, I'm gonna throw a slight bone to make sure you have at least 2 DPS here. We'll go with that. I don't want to deal with a little bit of debuffs.
Okay, I don't know what this Ervelin's gear looks like. I hope it's really good. Based on what I've seen, all the units in draft mode have really great gear.
You are going first.
Oh my
so...
goodness, why is this guy so fast?
That's a start for you.
Why is he so fast?
Oh no.
I hope he one-shots here.
How much damage on... Oh my god!
That feels like peanut damage.
Alright, please.
Oh no, that counter
stun.
pushed up the Araminta!
Please stun. Please stun DN, please stun DN. Okay, at least I push her back. But there's a counter buff.
No, my counter... Okay.
Okay,
Oh
we're
my
good
goodness.
Here. I don't think I can provoke her, but we'll try. Okay, you can
No,
provoke.
stop!
How much efforts does she have on her?
Where is
What is going on
Everest?
here? There's a lot happening.
This is a fake DN! And then my
paragraph.
Ervelin's counter buff got stripped. Oh my gosh.
You might be missing a book or a boot.
Oh
I'm just gonna
goodness.
send. I'm just gonna send it.
This is the fakest DN I've ever seen.
It's okay. We're going best of 3.
That Bellion just ruined it for me. That counter into Araminta push, and then Araminta causing problems.
Yeah. Kind of crazy. I was not expecting the DN to have that little F-Res, unfortunately. I say we go best of 3. Chat, put in your numbers now. Which slot should we choose for this next match?
This draft mode DN needs a buff.
I can't say I disagrey with that. That was a little wonky.
There's no way a DN in any world should be getting provoked by a
decor.
Dark Corvus. Yeah, there's no way that's a 200 effectiveness Dark Corvus. No way.
Let's take a peek here at Miss DN here. Only 130.
130 and okay, so F-Res needs a buff.
Understandable.
F-Res is a fake stat.
Oh, here's why. He's got 36F.
Oh, yeah, see, F-Res needs a buff.
Seeing a lot of 3s. All right, we're going to go for the 3rd. Right side.
Okay. Better RNG this time, please.
Get some prages in chat. Let's see what I get here. Okay, I'll take that.
This is looking better.
Oh no.
Wait, who's faster? I should have looked at the stats.
Oh, I should probably pop the stats button.
Okay, well, whatever.
Ooh, goodness. Okay.
I don't.
Got a lot of things on the field here. Oh, you stole my silver blade.
These picks are interesting.
I
don't know how I feel about them.
I am inclined to agree with you.
Huh. Okay.
Interesting. Oh no. I think I want to secure first turn. Dang
yeah,
it.
same.
Dang it.
Can't let that Lua cause problems.
No, I can't say I disagree. This one might be a little bit more troublesome for
Okay.
me, but at least my Ravi won't be losing damage from injury, so that's at least good. Oh my god, why is she first?
Wait, this T-Surin's fast. Why is she so fast?
Oh my god, she's got Gab too. Okay, Armin. I
What
pray.
are the stats
Armin?
on these units?
Armin, please.
No sleeps.
Everybody. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I think you have. I think you have Vile though.
Everyone's got a stun, please.
Okay. Armin, do it again. Armin, do it again.
No.
Yes, Armin, do it again.
please,
Let's go.
stop. Oh my gosh. Okay,
No, I missed the
okay,
50-50.
Okay, sleep. Put that
We're
Armin to
we're
sleep.
already all
causing.
stunned.
She's causing too much trouble.
Oh you. Oh wait,
Oh,
I just realized
we
you have Spez.
have the
Oh no.
Spez, yes.
You have Spez. Oh, my
Spez
Ravi's going night
supremacy.
night.
Let's go.
No. Armin, do it again. Do it again, Armin.
Nice. Okay, this Armin needs to sleep.
Armin.
Where's the
Armin,
stuns?
stay alive.
Okay,
You're good. Armin, you're
Okay,
alive. Don't
now-
sleep.
now,
Don't sleep, Armin. Don't sleep, Armin.
Sleep. Nice.
Ah,
okay.
no.
Okay.
Oh
Let's go.
no. All right, I think that. All right, 1-1. Fair enough.
All right. Good job, Spez. Proud of you.
All right, for all the marbles, then we're gonna go left side only.
All right.
All right, all the marbles. Best of 3 here. All right, chat. Who's gonna take it? Let us know. Let it get your voices heard in chat.
Okay. This is
I'll
good.
take this. I'll take this.
Good.
Thank you.
Oh dang.
Thank you.
This could be
Oh no. Oh no.
interesting. Oh.
Oh,
what the
no.
heck? This
Uh-oh,
is
I'm-
a weird.
Chad, I'm in
I
danger.
just lost
in
my
danger,
pace
Chad.
all of a sudden. What the heck? Oh my gosh. My draft doesn't make sense anymore.
My draft is kind of losing a little bit of structure here. Yeah, no, my draft has lost
okay,
all
this
sense
saved
of
it.
structure.
This sort of saved it.
Okay, I see that. I can see that working. Who do I take out here?
This is rough.
I think I gotta let go of
shoot.
you. I think I gotta say goodbye for you. Okay, smart. I respect it.
This is the weirdest
Oh, I should
team
have
comp, but
I made a mistake.
Alright,
Please. Please miss. Oh, okay, fair enough.
Okay, we need no resist here. Everybody, reset.
Oh, fingers crossed.
Please.
Fingers crossed. Please save me. Please save me, game. Please save me, game. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Okay, I can work with this. Alright, you still get my damage limit. That's good.
Gotta cycle the team.
Okay. Gotta go into stealth here, so I think I'm just gonna pull away your damage a little bit with that. Dang, injury assist.
Let's see. I need to get rid of this thing ASAP.
Oh my god, she's already so weak.
I'm just
Ruel,
gonna
you gotta
YOLO
survive.
this.
Ruel,
I
you
just
gotta
gotta YOLO
survive.
this.
Ruel, please. Yes!
Oh my gosh, Guardian Ice Crystal, you're kidding me.
I have no skills though.
Can we defense break this?
Oh, rude.
Okay.
Rude.
This is not great because somebody's about to get nuked by
I
this
think I know who
Gala.
I need to take out, yeah. I say good night to you.
I wonder if this Arabi survives.
She has proof on, shoot.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's
Okay.
good.
How do I do this? I think I pull this early.
I'm curious about this Shaltier damage.
Pretty good, but not enough.
Okay, nice. Phew. All right.
Come on, Ruel,
Definitely
you
gonna
have to
get
hang
rid
on.
of this.
Ow. Duel for fun?
Okay, get rid of this thing here, please. No, Guardian Ice Crystal, stop!
Please stay on, Ruel.
Oh my
It's not
gosh!
enough. Oh, she's out.
Okay,
Ruel,
phew.
you did your best.
Alright.
All right, Gala, I've got it. It's up to you, Gala. Oh, come on! Come on!
I mean, defense break won't do anything for me
I mean,
anyway.
yeah,
Oh my
but it's
gosh,
still-
that chomp.
It still hurts on the mental level. Oh, I'm double stealth. Shoot.
Okay, barrier's good.
All right, getting good injuries at least.
Can we... Oh, nice!
Oh, no! I
Okay!
lost the 50-50 twice. Oh, well.
Okay, Alencia, are you girly?
Yeah, all I'm saying is if you injure Sheltair here, she's going to have more ranges to stay at full health. Just saying.
I just gotta
I don't think I can
get
hold
this
on this fight.
defense buff up.
Even with a true vampire buff. Yeah, you guys are cycling too quick. I think that's GG's.
Oh,
but
the
dual attack for
3%.
fun! Dual attack for fun!
Let's go, Alencia!
Unity said Alencia.
Don't miss.
I never knew.
Don't miss. Hey, crit.
Well, kind of
Good job,
a
Granny.
little bit more of an even match there that time around, but
Phew.
phew.
That was
Well,
close.
what a set of matches there, right?
Yep.
But I think that
Well,
is
GG.
huh?
GG.
GG's again. I'll have to get my revenge later on. But that is everything that we've got for today. So why don't we get back into the screen between the two of us here. Fartsy, thank you so much for joining us today. If you'd like to take a moment to, say where you stream, where you create content, please feel free to do so now.
Well, I usually stream on Twitch Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays in the evenings, MST time zone. I also am on YouTube now as of very recently, so you can find me at FartPancakes on both places.
Awesome.
I create content for everything, just like highlights, guides. We'll do like basically everything I mentioned at the beginning of the stream. So hope to see you guys there.
Awesome. Well, as you guys know, we will be back in 2 weeks with our next Orbis Overdrive stream, but that is not the next time you'll see me, because this Saturday, June 22nd, we are hosting Mola Mash, which is an in-person event in Los Angeles with a draft mode tournament, raffles, prizes, tons of other stuff. If you have a chance, be sure to check out the page on our YouTube channel. There's still about 20 signups, free admission, but make sure to show up in person. We've got all sorts of stuff, and if you won't show up in person, then be sure to show up online. We will have a banner online in the game to show when we're going live, but that'll be, again, this Saturday, June 22nd. We hope to see you there online and offline. I'm very excited for it, but yeah, there's been a lot that we've been planning, so we really do hope that you show up and support us. It's going to be a great time. But that is it for us today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be back with our next Orbis Overdrive very, very soon. It's been your guy, Gimmick, and we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.